Hi, I'm Ellie, and this is your weekly theatre news recap, the show where I take all of the news from the past week of UK theatre and I give it to you in the only way I know how. Chaotically. There's so much news. There's way too much news. There's news everywhere, and I've got to give it to you. So let me just start that now. And if you want to stay up to date with UK theatre, make sure you hit like and subscribe because I do these every single week to varying levels of quality and success. But let's start, as we always do, with our casting news. First up, we have the first bit of casting for Come Fall in Love. This is the DDLJ musical, which is heading to the Manchester Opera House from Thursday the 29th of May to Saturday the 21st of June. This is one of the many new musicals that are trying themselves out this year outside of the West End, going up to Manchester. We're seeing this big trend this year because we're kind of at a point where the West End is very busy. We're seeing a lot of shows go beyond it to try themselves out first and then eventually try and come in. But starring in this musical will be Jenna Pandya and Ashley Day, who will be starring as Simran and Roger, respectively. This is a big new musical comedy based on one of the biggest blockbuster films in the history of Indian cinema, and looks like a fun musical, honestly. I'm very excited to see the reception to this musical. Hopefully, maybe go up to Manchester to see it myself, but we'll have to wait and see. Next up, The Great Gatsby. The Great Gatsby musical has announced its full cast, and last week I was very lucky to go to a launch where I had the cast literally within reaching distance from me. That was very cool. So, the two initially announced were Frances Mailey-McCann as Daisy Buchanan and Jane Moscato as Jay Gatsby, which I really enjoy for the fact that there is only one step to being cast as Jay Gatsby in The Great Gatsby musical, and that is having played JD in Heathers. Jeremy Jordan initially played JD in Heathers in their workshop performance. Currently playing Gatsby on Broadway is Ryan McCartan, the original JD in the off-Broadway version of Heathers. And of course, Jane Moscato was our original JD in Heathers, both in the UK workshop and the further production at the Other Palace. So basically, if you want to play Gatsby, play JD first. And then we had our further casting, including Corbin Bleu as Nick Carraway, who you may remember from the High School Musical films. We have the amazing Amber Davies as Jordan Baker. We have Joel Montague as George Wilson, which does mean, yes, Joel Montague will be leaving Hamilton very soon. John Owen Jones as Maya Walsheim. John Robbins as Tom Buchanan, and Rachel Tucker as Myrtle Wilson. We also have a full ensemble who will be where? In the description down below. But I mean, this is a great cast. This is a fantastic cast. I mean, Rachel Tucker, hell yes. John Robbins, hell yes. Jane Moscato and Frances Mailey-McCann are the two people that everyone said would be perfect. It's literally like they looked over at Broadway and went, okay, who are the two most Eva Nobazada and Jeremy Jordan that we can find in the UK, and they found them. This is just big musical theatre names everywhere you look. I'm very excited for this. And if you're excited, you can catch The Great Gatsby at the London Coliseum from the 11th of April this year, running until September. As well as that, we got some additional casting announcements for Shucked and Brigadoon as part of the Regent's Park Open Air Theatres season this year. So, obviously, we had the main casting for Shucked before, plus Jonathan Andrew Hume saying a bit early that he was going to be in the show. He has now been officially confirmed to be playing Grandpa. And we also have our full ensemble, who are Jed Berry, Talia Halford, Russ Harmon, Claudia Karuki, Ying Yu Lee, Tom Oliver, Gleanne Purcell-Brown, Nathaniel Purnell, Rachel Rawlinson, Mia Shelbourne, and Toyan Thomas Brown. And moving over to Brigadoon, we have one additional leading cast member. This was announced at the Watson Stage Awards, as Gilly Jones will be joining Brigadoon as Charlie. If you want to catch those musicals, they are both playing at the Regent's Park Open Air Theatre this summer. We spoke about one musical going up to Manchester this year. How about another? A Knight's Tale has also announced their full cast this week. This will be playing at the Manchester Opera House from the 11th of April until the 10th of May. And starring in the show will be the iconic Emily Benjamin as Kate, Max Bennett as Chaucer, Andrew Koshan as William, Emil Ruddock as Roland, Jay Seigel as Prince Edward, Eva Scott as What? Just sounds like I'm surprised, but that's the name that's listed right here. Giles Taylor as Father, Oliver Thompson as the Count, and Misha Turner as Jocelyn, as well as an Ensemble, who are, well, the description down below, of course. I don't honestly know much about A Knight's Tale. It looks like a fun musical. It's very jukebox vibes they're going for with this one. But I haven't seen the film. Maybe I should, and hopefully I'll be able to head up to Manchester this year to catch it. Another musical that is premiering outside of the West End. This is a year for new musicals in regional theatres. We have Muriel's Wedding. This was a big hit over in Australia, and this is heading to the Leicester Curve this spring. And of course, we have our full cast. There's a lot of names to go through here, so let's just jump into it. So Megan Ellis will be playing Muriel, and Annabelle Marlowe will be playing Rhonda. Then we have Darren Day, who will be playing Muriel's father, Bill, and her mother will be played by Laura Medforth. Jacob Warner, who was actually in the 2019 Australian tour of this musical, will rejoin in the UK playing Perry, and Joseph Peacock will play Malcolm. We also have Lena Patty Jones, who will play Joni. And that's the whole family, all of Muriel's siblings, mother, father, there you go. Then we have supporting roles played by Helen Hill, Lily Pearl Wildman, Jasmine Beale, Daisy Twells, Ethan Pascal Peters, Stephen Madsen, who is also reprising his role from a previous Australian run, Chris Bennett, Bronte Alice Tadman, Jasmine Hackett, Aaron Tessindos, and Jamie Doncaster. If you want to catch this musical, it is going to the Curve in Leicester from the 10th of April to the 10th of May. It looks like a lot of fun, honestly. It looks like a blast. And finally, in casting news, let's speak a little bit about Hadestown, because if you are not aware, the OG Broadway principals have all returned to Hadestown this week. I was there on the first night. It was incredible. The atmosphere was just everything, but sadly we were one short, as a couple of days before they were meant to go on, Patrick Page sadly injured his leg, meaning that he had to go off, and he was replaced by the legendary Philip Boykin, who had just left Hadestown in New York. It has now been revealed by Patrick Page on his Instagram that he will no longer be performing in the West End run, with Philip Boykin covering him for the entirety of the run, except for the dates when they filmed the pro shot. Patrick Page will return to Hadestown on the 28th of February and the 1st of March to perform in those dates and be a part of the pro shot. Now, Page did also reveal that the injury that he has suffered is the full rupture of his Achilles, which is very serious. And it's likely that there might need to be some alterations to the show to make sure that he can still perform. But it's really important that, you know, Patrick Page takes the time to heal. And while it's so sad that we can't see Patrick Page in the full run, Philip Boykin is an incredible replacement. He is phenomenal. And he molds himself into that cast so perfectly. He feels like he is a part of it from the jump. And while we don't get to see Patrick Page for the full run, we will get to see him in the pro shot. That is it for casting news this week. Now, concerts and events, there is a million things to talk about. So let's go through it quite quickly. First, let's start with one of the most exciting things that happened this week, and that is the announcement of a concert version of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. This musical is very rarely seen in the UK. We have been wanting and waiting for a full professional production of Hunchback for years now. It is one of the best Disney musicals that they have put onto stage, and it is a crime that it is too dark that Disney never touch it. But for 2 performances only, we will see Hunchback in London, as the beloved Disney musical will be having 2 concert performances at the Prince Edward Theatre on Sunday, the 17th of August, 2025. I am pretty sure it is already sold out. I am mad because I don't have a ticket, and I don't know. Oh god, I'm gonna have to pay like £100 more to get in there. If anyone would like to give me a ticket that they just happen to not want, I would very happily oblige and take that because I want to be there. But this is so exciting. Hopefully they will see the demand of Hunchback in London, and maybe we'll get a full run of the show. Maybe they will release more tickets. Additional dates, please. I would love it. Please. But honestly, I'm very, very glad that this is done well. And I'm very, very sad that I don't have a ticket. We also have a bunch of performers who have announced solo concerts. The first is Hadley Fraser, who will be going to Cadogan Hall on Sunday the 15th of June at 6:30. This concert will celebrate the launch of his upcoming album, Things That Come and Go. We also have a concert from the Tony Award-winning Broadway icon Aaron Tveit, who you may know from his work on Next to Normal, Moulin Rouge, or on screen in something like Schmigadoon. He will be performing in his first UK solo concert at the London Palladium on Saturday, the 19th of April, 2025. This sold out extremely quickly, and a second date has been added the following day, Sunday the 20th of April, at 6 p.m. So if you want to catch Aaron Tveit on stage in London, this is your main opportunity to do so. And announced this weekend, Samantha Barks will also be performing a solo concert at the London Palladium. Samantha Barks, you obviously know her from the Les Mis film, you know her from Frozen, and her concert will take place on Saturday the 5th of April 2025. So if you want to catch any of the performers on stage, you can catch them then. We also got an announcement for our hosts for the Olivier Awards this year. We're waiting with bated breath for the full announcement of the nominations, which should be coming very early March. And once we have a strict date for that, I will let you know. But this year's Olivier Awards will be co-hosted by the iconic Beverly Knight and Billy Porter. This will be happening on Sunday, the 6th of April. It is one of the biggest days of UK theatre. I will be making loads of videos about it. And honestly, what a great pair. What a fantastic pair. I'm very excited to see it. We also have a workshop to talk about. This is a brand new musical called Bliss, which is having a public workshop presentation from Tuesday the 4th to Saturday the 8th of March 2025 at the Lillian Baylis Studios and Sadler's Wells. This workshop had a limited number of tickets that were all priced at $10.50, and I phrase that in past tense because it sold out in a day. And if you're wondering how it sold out in a day, you did not see this cast. Oh, wow. This workshop stars Kaya Monticello as Piper, Dejonna Gift as Faye, Alexander Emerson Kirby as Carmela, Mia Harrison as Holly, Sam Tutty as Prince Devon, Madison Tyson as Toby, Cameron Johnson as the King, Josephina Gabrielle as Tafita, and that is only the surface of the casting. There's still further casting to be announced. And also an ensemble who are in the description down below. So, like, with a cast like that, I mean, Josephina Gabrielle is an icon. Sam Tutty and Dejonna Gift reuniting after Two Strangers, iconic. You can very clearly see why this sold out very quickly. It's a very, like, fairy tale musical with a new pop rock score, and actually looks really interesting. I'm glad to see this new musical starting to workshop itself, and hopefully we will hear some more about it in the future. And finally, in concerts and events, I told you there was a lot, we have Austenland. Austenland will be having its world premiere with 2 concert workshop performances at the Savoy Theatre on Monday, the 24th of March, 2025. This is based on the 2007 novel of the same name, and will star the legendary Lucy Jones as Jane Hayes, an unlucky in love and Austen-obsessed girl who is ditching the dating apps for a dream vacation to Austenland, where every dance, duel, and scandal promises a taste of Regency romance. It sounds very fun, it sounds very camp, and if you want to catch that, is once again the Savoy Theatre on Monday, the 24th of March. Let's move on to miscellaneous news this week. First of all, a very simple extension, Second Best, which is currently playing at the Riverside Studios, starring Asa Butterfield, will extend to the 1st of March. As well as that, we also got the full announcement of the Why Am I So Single cast album. Perfectly timed for an announcement on Galentine's Day. Why Am I So Single will be releasing its full cast recording on the 14th of March 2025, and the biggest surprise from this is that Patti LuPone is on it. They are releasing a extended version of the song Men Are Trash, which is what we all wanted, because that song is only like a minute long and it's one of the best things in the show, and so an extended version of that, yes please, but Patti LuPone is on it? Which is even funnier when you remember that the show has loads of jokes about Oliver, and Patti LuPone played Nancy in the Broadway revival of Oliver, which is just absolutely perfect, as well as being Patti LuPone, who is an icon, a legend, and indeed the moment. Now, come on now. It just furthers the meta-ness of Why I'm Single so much. I love it. I love it. It's perfect. And I cannot wait. I will be listening to it immediately on the 14th of March, and so should you. That is it for miscellaneous news. Let's move on to transfers, new productions, and seasons. We're going to start with 2 seasons that have been announced this week. The first is the Kiln Theatre in London, which has announced its 2025 and 2026 season. As always with seasons, we will give a rapid, quick stop tour of all the shows, with more information down in the description below. The season will actually launch this year with a musical with the best name I've ever heard, the Ministry of Lesbian Affairs. Iconic. I cannot wait. This will run at the theatre from the 13th of June to the 12th of July 2025. And this follows a sold-out run at the Soho Theatre. This is followed by another new musical, Coven, which reinterrogates the true story of the 17th century Pendle witch trials. This will play from the 31st of October to the 13th of December 2025. Following that is Seagulls, a new Black British retelling of the iconic Chekhov play. This will run from the 12th of February to the 21st of March 2026. And finally, we have the world premiere of Please, Please Me, an electrifying and deeply personal look into the story of the troubled life of the 5th Beatle, Brian Epstein, which will play at the Kiln from the 16th of April to the 23rd of May 2026. So if you want any more details about these shows, you can check out the link to the website in the description down below. As well as that, we have the season for the Chichester Festival Theatre. Now, the Festival Theatre has 2 different theatres, and because of that, the dates are all kind of going over each other, as some are playing in the main theatre, some are playing in the second theatre. So if it seems like the dates are crossing over, there's 2 theatres within this one space. I'm not getting the dates wrong, I hope. Firstly, for this season is a new adaptation of The Government Inspector, which plays from the 25th of April to the 24th of May at the Festival Theatre. We're also getting The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry, which is a new musical adaptation of Rachel Joyce's novel, which will play from the 5th of May to the 14th of June and will star Jenna Russell and Mark Addy. We're getting a new adaptation of Anna Karenina, which will play from the 7th of June to the 28th of June at the Festival Theatre. We're also getting Choir, which will run from the 2nd to the 30th of August at the Minerva Theatre. Their big summer musical this year will be a new production of Top Hat, directed by Kathleen Marshall, returning to this venue after directing Crazy for You There, which will play at the theatre from the 14th of July to the 6th of September. Another very exciting thing in this season is Hamlet, which will star the iconic Giles Tiara, which will play from the 6th of September to the 4th of October in the Minerva Theatre. There's also an adaptation of The Lord of the Flies. This is being adapted by Nigel Williams and will play from the 19th of September to the 11th of October at the Festival Theatre. And finally, we have Safe Space. This is being written by original UK cast member of Moulin Rouge, Jamie Boggio, and runs from the 11th of October to the 8th of November in the Minerva Theatre. So for a full breakdown of this season, you can head to the website in the description down below. With the seasons discussed, let's move on to the rest of the shows. Starting first with new dates for Miss Saigon. This is going on a UK tour, and the newly announced venues are Llandudno, Hull, Southampton, Plymouth, Aberdeen, Belfast, Nottingham, and more dates to be announced soon. See, I'm very good at saying towns and cities. As well as that, with bold text at the bottom, there are Irish dates to be announced soon, so don't worry, you got more Irish dates coming very soon. So if you want to catch this production of Miss Saigon, you can head to any of those venues. Another tour announcing some of its tour dates is the Red Shoes. We already knew that this would be getting a Christmas season at Sadler's Wells, but prior to that, Red Shoes will open at the Theatre Royal Plymouth from the 17th of November, and then we'll visit the Lowry in Salford from the 25th of November. This will be followed by the 7-week Sadler's Wells season, and then we'll be going on further UK tour stops to Nottingham and Southampton, with further tour stops to be announced soon. So if you are near any of those venues, you can catch Red Shoes there, or you can stay tuned to see if it's coming anywhere closer to you. As well as that, we got an announcement of Secret Cinema. Secret Cinema is returning to London with a brand new production for 2025, and this will be Grease, the immersive movie musical, playing in Battersea Park from Friday the 1st of August to Sunday the 7th of September at Evolution London. This is the first of 3 consecutive summer events from the Masters of Immersive Entertainment at Evolution London, their most central London venue to date. And they have also announced that further iconic movie titles for 2026 and 2027 will be announced later in the year. This immersive version of Grease will be a 2.5-hour production, which brings the classic musical to life, featuring a cast of 30 performing amidst a giant multi-screen platform. Every corner of the venue will transform into an immersive and unforgettable cinematic theatrical experience. So if you are a big fan of Grease, you can head over to Evolution London this summer. As well as that, we have Hold On To Your Butts. This is the parody of Jurassic Park, which has been going on a UK tour, and as part of that UK tour, they are getting a short West End engagement this Easter at the Arts Theatre. This will run from the 7th to the 12th of April 2025, alongside performances of The Choir of Man. So if you want to catch this in the West End, you can grab your tickets now. Next up, we have another Agatha Christie murder mystery on stage, and this will be an adaptation of Death on the Nile. This UK and Ireland tour will open on the 26th of September at the Lowry in Salford, and will continue on to Richmond, Milton Keynes, Bath, Northampton, Cornwall, Torquay, Cardiff, Guildford, Canterbury, and more dates to be announced soon. This is being directed by Lucy Bailey, who also directed Witness for the Prosecution, another Agatha Christie murder mystery, currently playing in London, and will be written by Ken Ludwig. It looks very cool. Love the marketing, looks very slick, very exciting. Now, we heard rumours a while back about Andrew Lloyd Webber writing a Sherlock Holmes Christmas musical. And we didn't hear anything further about it, so we thought that it was just, something wild, something untrue. Turns out it was very real. Not only was it real, but this is reuniting Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber, who previously worked together on Joseph, Jesus Christ Superstar, and Evita. They are rejoining to present the world premiere of Sherlock Holmes and the 12 Days of Christmas, which sounds unreal as it comes out of my mouth, but this is extremely real. This will be playing in real life at the Birmingham Rep from the 14th of November to the 11th of January. And honestly, this sounds wild, it sounds camp, and honestly, I'm kind of here for it. This is a comedy whodunit, which is being written by Humphrey Keir and David Reed, stars and creators of the award-winning comic troupe, The Penny Dreadfuls. And yes, will feature original songs by Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber. This is wild. And honestly, it's wild enough that I am so unbelievably curious. So I guess I've got to head up to Birmingham this Christmas. And finally, in news this week, we are getting a regional production of Young Frankenstein. This is a musical that we haven't seen in the UK for a very long time now. It previously played at the Garrick Theatre in London and will be heading up to the Hope Mill Theatre in Manchester, playing from the 10th of October to the 30th of November 2025. Perfectly timed for Halloween this year. This new production will be directed and choreographed by Nick Winston, who previously worked on the Shrek UK tour and Bonnie and Clyde, as well as many other shows. Young Frankenstein is obviously based on the Mel Brooks film of the same name. It's quite nice how this year we'll see productions of both producers, which is currently playing its final couple of weeks at the Mini Chocolate Factory, and also Young Frankenstein. It's a real good year for Mel Brooks comedy musicals in the UK. So if you want to catch Young Frankenstein again, you can head up to Manchester this Halloween. And that is it for news this week. I told you there was a lot. What are you most excited for? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, please consider hitting like and subscribe. It really helps me, it helps that channel. Here's some links to some other videos on screen right now, and a link to my Instagram if you'd like to drop me a follow over there. There's some other social links and a merch store in the description down below. But that's it for me today, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.